There are people defending Tiger in a big way, and they're my favorite gals on planet Earth. The View. Let's go.
Ooh.
Now, The View was a great one. I watched this View, man. I think you're going to love this week's View. This week, they have a special fill-in correspondent on The View. Someone new that I have never seen The View before. So I want to show that, and I'm going to show you the whole intro. They talk about Tiger. They're doing all this stuff. Rollover, crash.
Ugh.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Here's where you go. I don't know what's worse. Watch this. I'm sorry I had to flip it for... actually, I shouldn't even do this. I had to flip it for copyright's sake, but you can see that says, However, sorrow.
Is sharing a never-before-seen look at the deadly confrontation with the neighbor from hell that shocked the nation. And comedian and podcast host Whitney Cummings is our guest co-host.
I don't know what's the worst news, the senseless murder or Whitney Cummings is the guest co-host.
I made a scoff earlier. I saw Portnoy was on this, or they showed him.
Yeah, Portnoy, they'll talk about Portnoy has a funny piece in all of this. You'll see that.
Okay.
Certainly. And honestly, I'm going to say this. No, I mean, I think, again, I said it's beautiful. Whitney is bimbo maxing in the mouth and lips and area, isn't she? That's a bimbo max move. That headshot, at least. All right, here we go. I love the intro to The View more than anything on planet Earth, man. I love this intro.
Topics with Whoopi.
Now, Ihupua is a friend of Tiger's and will defend him to the very end. Right?
Sarah Haynes.
Big friend. Yeah, and then we got Sarah Haynes, who is nothing on this show. She's a non-entity on this show. Sorry to say that. But Sarah Haynes, you don't have what it takes to be on Afternoon Night.
Joy Behar.
Joy Behar's the star of this show. I actually like Joy Behar. I think she's funny. She's like 88. She's still with it. You'll see that in this clip. Hannah Navarro's the worst. Okay. You know, I don't want to make any sort of stereotypical comments, but every single time I hear her, she's like, well, as a Latina, I'm really worried about Tiger on the roads because what if they run into my horchata stand? It's like everything's about you being a Latina. Or hating Trump. She also very much hates Trump.
Sunny Hostin.
Oh, and then we get Sunny Hostin. She's the conservative, I think, of the group. She's the token conservative on this poll panel. I call her Sunny, as a former prosecutor, Hostin. Because every single thing, as a former federal prosecutor, every single line she ever does, she goes, as a former federal we have the best recipe for blueberry muffins coming up. Well, you know what? As a former federal prosecutor, we had to make sure we had enough carbs on the go. She's ridiculous with that whole thing. Get it off my screen.
You need to release like a tier list of the View hosts.
Yeah.
S-A-B, yeah.
Joy's S tier. We just basically did, but Joy is S tier, Luke. Joy is S tier. Yeah. Whoopi, despite her flaws, is probably
solid beer.
B. She's a B tier. Sunny Hostin, I'm gonna put her at D, man. Sarah Haynes is who dat tier. I'm still not sure who she is. Been watching The View for 20 years now. And who was the other one? That was it. Oh, and then they have some Anna Navarro, C-. Whitney Cummings, I don't think she makes the best show of this whole appearance on The View, man. They have the best opening, though, in the country. I need within a year, I need our production to improve such that we have an intro like this.
And Alyssa Farah Griffin.
Oh, Alyssa, I think she's the conservative. I apologize. Alyssa Farah Griffin is the conservative. And is she like a teen mom? Like, why? She looks to me like a teen mom grown up. I'm putting her.
Doesn't know ball. He doesn't know.
Oh, please. But I know Bimbo, and she's one of them.
Now let's get things started.
This is my intro. This is what I need. There comes Whitney. This version of me, I'm liking after tonight. Sunny. Joy. Oh, God. And I'm just going to say this to Whitney Cummings if she can hear this. Whitney, am I wrong that like a year ago you were of the opinion that every bit in TV was a part of the conspiracy and you're part of this, you're fighting against the Epstein elites and stuff, and now you're on now you're on The View.
Yeah, I forgot about that about her. Yeah, she was a big grifter back then. Yeah.
She was all in the thing like, oh, am I going to get canceled for this about the Freemasons? I better not. No offense, Whitney. I've seen you more on The View than I have seen you on the Kurt Metzger show. Okay. I've seen you more for someone who's so into like, dude, they're all trying to groom and take over and eat the firstborns of us Americans. Well, if anyone's going to eat a child, it's Anna Navarro. So why are you sitting down with her? I love after the night I see. I love this show, bro. Welcome to The View. Welcome to The View. And then Whoopi just kills it. That's my favorite part. Welcome to The View.
Wait.
Welcome to The View. Listen to this part again. Whoopi killed me with his intro. Listen. Yes.
I thought that was you doing an edit. That was actually
Welcome to The View. Welcome to The View. Welcome to The View. Because, most of their audience is, 85 plus. They're going to forget what show they're watching, if not repeat it every half second. The View, The View, The View, The View. You're watching The View.
I don't think I could do that for this show. Welcome to After Night. Welcome to After Night. Welcome to After Night. Welcome to After Night. My best try. Thank you.
Because I live in joke world.
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa. What was that?
Whoa. What was that?
What the hell was that? All right. Let's start watching their coverage of Tiger. That's where it really heats up, man. I like the mark that I see.
Welcome back. Tiger Woods says he plans to step away from golf and seek treatment after his DUI arrest in Florida last week. You know who expressed sympathy for Woods, saying that the golf legend lives a life of pain, but some media personalities like Dave Portnoy,
Listen.
I don't know who that is, are not as...
Whoopi, you got to get with it a tiny bit, Whoopi.
I know.
I'm sorry. Dave Portnoy is worth more money than you, is more relevant than you in every single way, and yet you're like, who the hell is that nobody? Dave Portnoy? If it was he could literally buy you, cook you, and have Miss Peaches eat you if he wanted. That's how powerful Dave Portnoy is. All right? So get it through your head. I'm not a Portnoy head. All right? I'm more of a Frank the Tank guy.
Me too.
compassionate.
My
Take a look.
allegiance
I have no
is
sympathy.
with Glenny Balls.
Glenny Balls, former Barstool, no longer at the Barstool.
Really?
Well, you know, Caleb, that is his buddy, Caleb Preston.
Yeah.
That show Sundays with Stories or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
It's no longer on Barstool, and Glenny Ball doesn't do only stands anymore with Barstool. They're off the network, I believe.
Wow.
For the guy, what does he do? I don't know anybody who has ever rolled a car over. This guy rolls it over every 2 weeks. Yep. So, you know what? Put him behind bars, put him in jail for a little bit, make him wake up, get a driver.
Is that the worst Dave Portnoy's ever looked somehow? I mean, every time I see him, I'm like, you are a gargoyle. But look at that look with the full chin beard, the chin strap.
You know,
He looks worse without a beard, honestly. He does look worse.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
But
I
there's no one more unlikable on planet Earth, by the way. Even Anna Navarro.
he's one of the
Anna
worst
Navarro
people on Earth right now.
clears him in likability.
You're going to kill somebody. You're going to kill somebody innocent.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
Tiger's a friend of mine,
Uh-oh.
and I wish him nothing but the best. I don't like kicking a man when he's down.
Yeah.
Or when he's flipped on his side. So she takes this thing of like, we you know, that's the thing I've been hating about this discourse about Tiger Woods. It's like, he's at a really low place in his life. Well, no shit. He's decided to take pills and drive around town until he flips his car. And we're supposed to be like, it's a tough time for him.
You remember when it came out that Biden like shit his pants, and she was like, "Who doesn't shit their pants? I shit my pants every day."
Who is it waddling around in Little Brown?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who doesn't take Percocet and drive 80 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour school zone? I take Percocet and drive every day.
I swear to God, she's making that almost that exact argument close to it later as she keeps going with this. She is so out of touch. And yeah, he's out of touch to say, but Tiger's my friend. It's mean to kick a man while he's what? Well, he's flipping a car. And I mean, again, think if there's a kid in the road. I mean, the whole story is different. I mean, there might as well, it could have easily been one.
She made jokes when Trump got arrested. Do you remember that? Like, she probably made jokes when that happened.
Yeah, that's a man while he's down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really equivalent to that, but still.
Well, yeah. He was down. Probably made Stormy Daniels jokes all over the place. He was down then, too.
He was down then.
Talk about a bimbo. Ay, ay, ay. She's a hot piece.
Ay, ay.
Oh,
The storm is coming.
The storm is coming, folks. She's still doing stand-up
now.
Stand-up in the big 2026. Stormy Daniels. And she still goes up from what I see from the clips I could find of Stormy Daniels, the porn star who had sex with Trump, allegedly. She still goes up in 2026, 10 years after this whole scandal happened, and goes, so I know Donald isn't going to like that I'm up here talking about this. It's like he's had sex with 1 million porn stars since that, even as president. So, I mean, it's only gotten worse.
Hills in the room, though.
True. When you got a solid opener, you got to keep using it.
Do it until it's on your special. But once it's on your special, you got to find something new.
I'm still doing my Al Gore material. Like, it works.
Hanging Chad. Wait, is that...
Yeah. Butterfly ballots, man. It still gets a pop every time.
But I leave that to other folks. But
I mean, I can think of no
Here we go, Whitney.
better example of why we should maybe let kids be kids. You know, I'm a new mom, and
Oh.
What?
So here's her angle. I think this was just a brag. I'm a new mom. Skateboard dad. Anybody? Any applause break? Nobody cares. And
Yeah.
no one applauds that, by the way. We just got to let kids be kids, and all the way up until they're 50, where they can drive drunk and spin up their cars. That's kid be kid. Let kids. That's a let boys be boys argument, huh, Whitney? Listen to this argument. We just got to let Tiger do what he wants because he didn't have a normal childhood. So it's going to happen, obviously. Yeah, Mark?
Her appearance. Did we go over that yet?
Not yet, but what do you have to say?
I'll just say it's very urban looking.
Well, that's an interesting point. You kind of make a good point. It's kind of it's Hillary Clinton in the pantsuit, but then it is sort of Beyonce Knowles in the hair.
Yeah, the wavy hair, and of course the hooped earring theory, which I've always been a big subscriber to.
What's the hooped earring theory? You got to educate me on that.
Oh, you don't know what the hoop earring is?
Oh, tell me.
This is I learned this from Urban Dictionary when I was a young teen, and after doing some research, I was like, oh, that kind of checks out. The theory is the bigger the hoop, the more they are into black guys as a white woman.
Wait, what do you mean?
Interesting. Well, she had. I mean, I'd never heard that.
Really?
But why didn't Brian have any hoops on then? Brian should have had some hoops.
Well, I don't know if he's going for black guys. He could just be bimboing it up for
any
he's
for
doing
any
a
old.
racist bimbo.
He could be. Yeah. There's nothing worse than a racist bimbo, though. Betray the community like that.
Despicable.
Yeah.
Pick one.
You're gonna make
either
us all
racist
look
or you're
bad.
bimbo.
I gotta
Either
look,
racist
I gotta
or
look
bimbo.
for that when I go to bars. I gotta look for the hoop earrings.
Yeah, exactly.
You do.
There you go, Luke.
I look,
You've never heard of it either?
No.
Well, I never heard of it, but my mom used to love wearing hoop earrings, so I think the theory checks out.
Feel like I want to make my child this overachiever who has a skill, but his dad, had him putting on TV at 2, and he
The
didn't.
documentary about him was fascinating.
He didn't get to have a childhood, and I see this so much. I'm sure all of you have. Where
But let's let him kill at least 3 people before we
He's
do
a
anything.
fucking
Then
idiot. She's so stupid.
let's let him at least run over around 2, 3, toddlers before we do anything about this. It's so sad. It's not really sad. It's sad when you're 18, you haven't had a childhood, and you're messed up. It's not so sad when you're 50. You should have really, dealt with this, especially if you're a billionaire.
Not just 50. Yeah, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like you're a famous billionaire. You should deal with
Famous
this
billionaire who everybody watches his every move. You think you'd be like, okay, well, the one thing I can't do, flip my car over for a 3rd time in 10 years. Probably the one
You
thing
get
I
one-
can't do.
You get one time, I think, with that stuff.
You get one flip, one mysterious flip, and everybody goes, what was that flip all about? I don't care. By the 3rd flip, they're going, oh, you're more a flipper than a golfer. Flip wedge.
if you didn't have a childhood, you're going to have it at some point.
There are plenty of kid actors who didn't have a childhood and don't become drunk drivers.
Thank you, Joy.
I mean,
Well,
I'm kidding.
I can name several.
Joy.
Yeah, he's not a drunk driver, but what I will say this is they found some hydrocodone in his.
He has a truck.
Here's what this is the other argument they're gonna make over and over again. They always go, well, Joy Behar goes, he shouldn't be driving drunk. Like, it's wrong. Get a driver. And they go, he wasn't drunk. He was just on massive amounts of opiates.
Which is worse, I think. It's worse than drunk driving.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't even know if it's any different because it probably is, but they're making it into like a rich guy issue to be like, well, he's tortured and he has back problems, so he's taking pills. Every rich guy can pretend to have back problems and get pills. But a pill problem with, with back symptoms.
Have you ever read the great book On Perks by Mike Rainey? Come on.
No, I know, right? That's a classic. Have you?
No, I haven't, but I've heard about it.
Sounds
funny.
I like the title.
Pocket. He's had 20 surgeries, and he lives with back pain. And I think, we talk about the opioid crisis in this country with such empathy. And when it comes to Tiger Woods, for some reason, we don't seem to have that empathy for him. I'm not.
She's like on the verge of tears because we're not.
He's only saying that because he's black. If it was Scotty Scheffler doing this, she'd be throwing him in the fucking jail. That's unbelievable.
10,000,000%, Luke. Yeah, you're right. If it was Cooper Flagg on his 3rd DUI, it'd be like white privilege that he hasn't been arrested and executed yet.
I can't believe this.
So sure, you're like, why don't we have empathy for the billionaire flipping his car over time and time again on drugs? I can't even. I'm just saying the same thing over and over, but it's like wild.
I'm not excusing the fact that he was driving while under the influence, but I think we need to show someone who is a sports legend who may have been pushed very hard as a child and have some grace for the.
I mean, come on. With his totally ripped out thighs, his giant forearms. I mean, you can't have a funnier picture.
What kind of car is this?
Land Rover.
Oh my god! Yeah, come on. Get it. Anytime a Land Rover is on its side like that, it's the driver's fault.
Yeah, you really had to work at it.
Question.
Get out of here. This is not my Mini Cooper getting a strong gust of wind and flipping it over.
Yeah, this is my 07 Xterra. This is 2025 Land Rover.
And I'm starting to think that these are guerrilla ad campaigns for his car companies. Like, he flipped that Genesis going 85, and like everybody was fine. That's like what better ad? Now he's flipping other cars and he's perfectly fine. He's never been hurt in these accidents.
What if he flipped a smart car? That would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
One of those little like toy cars.
He's totally upside down calling Donald Trump.
If it was a Tesla truck, people would start getting mad at him.
If it was a Cybertruck, Sonny Hostin would backtrack completely.
100%.
Exactly.
Living with, and the fact that as an
but to be fair to Elon, the Cybertruck would have just spontaneously exploded. Would not have had to flip.
Athlete, he is now having to struggle with the fact that he may have to give up the one thing that he loves to do.
It's trauma. trauma
poor him.
because he can't play
Give up the one.
golf
Oh,
because
I
he's
thought it was drunk
old.
driving.
That's
Did she
also
say
true.
African American athlete, or did she just say athlete?
Let's rewind. Yeah, because she is a race. She's a race hustler, man. That's no doubt.
Fact that as an athlete, he is now having
Okay.
to struggle
As an athlete, but in my household growing up, that was code for African American too. So
with the fact that he may have to give up the one thing that he loves to do.
Yeah.
That's
Which is what?
You can still
driving?
play golf. What are you talking about?
I guess they're saying, well, he's diminished because of all the surgeries.
Oh,
Well, how? What? A quarter of the surgeries is because you crashed the first time, escaping from your wife.
Yeah.
So, here's
Whenever I
Miss
see
he
Brilliant.
already pled not guilty, by the way.
Whenever I see him, I see such sadness in his eyes. Like I know how important it is.
Are you sure? Because
drugs.
I see red. I see, imagine the Land Rovers driving around space.
I want to hear her point of view because she is an athlete because she's wearing an Apple Watch. So
Oh yeah, just get the
Play.
UVA.
Is that people do not drink under the influence. Almost
They
50.
found no alcohol in
You're
his
right.
system.
You're right. But I
So he's a hero.
know that 54% of drivers tested positive for alcohol and drugs in serious
All this woman does is read facts off a note card that the producers give her. She's got nothing.
crashes. So people die every day. That is very serious. I think Tiger Woods has been in a lot of pain for a long time, and I don't mean just physically. So I really hope he gets what he needs and finds something.
And these opioids are designed. They are designed.
I mean, what would they react if
Whitney, give her the applause break. Don't
Yeah, just step
on
all
it.
over
I
the
thought you were
line.
a comic. I thought you know this stuff.
step all over the line? That's terrible.
Boo.
But again, what would they say if, like, you know what? Donald Trump's just trying to take out Iran and Venezuela because his dad never really talked to him the way he should. You know, is it-
childhood. That's why he wants to deport all these immigrants. He didn't have a childhood.
as a child, the Mexican boys pulled down his pants, and now we're blaming him.
So that you can
The
never
same
get off
company
them.
that designed the addiction designed the solution.
Correct.
How
And-
does that work
and-
out?
I like that too. Like, Tiger Woods has never. That was a snap.
I know.
Tiger Woods has never, besides this fake post that he made a couple of days ago, never consciously ever said, I'm trying to kick the habit or get better or stop. He's been loving the pill life, allegedly. But I don't even blame him. Pills are good. But it's just like, we're going to pretend that, it's the Sackler family problem that he flipped that
Yes.
rover.
I grew up around addiction.
Oh, this is good too.
Oh.
Grew up around addiction. I identify as an addict. It is the disease that tells you
Then Joy goes, you do? What the hell's wrong with you, you junkie?
What, she gave up booze? I don't even know.
From what I know, she identifies as an addict because she's addicted to making sure each one of her podcasts gets 1 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's addicted to botting.
Fair.
She's an addict to the bots. Botification.
She's an addict to the grind. She always has to
Oh,
pop
yeah.
out bits.
She's always going to do sets.
don't have a disease.
Mm-hmm.
No
Right,
one
and-
wants this. No
You know
one
what? He's
chooses
very
this.
rich. He should get a driver, just not Justin Timberlake.
And then Joy, great point with a funny
What a great
line.
joke.
Great joke with a funny line, and it's all the right thing. So, Joy Behar, you get my Bimbo of the Week award. Congratulations. Great job. She looks great, by the way. I don't know what they're doing to her behind the scenes, what kind of, full body encased makeup they're putting her in, but she looks good for 94.
They're
And
pumping her full of joy.
Joy and saline to make her breasts 8 times their normal size. She looks good.